You doing? This is Brother Al here with another moment. Hey, I'm just doing a follow-up today about a topic that I mentioned in my last broadcast about why the real truth about women that intimidate men. I talked about an error in there where women thought that men act negative toward them because they could not feel that the man was equal to them, and they thought this was the stress. So if you want to know a little bit about that, um, just take a look at the last broadcast. It's called The Truth about women that intimidate men. In that particular broadcast, I did mention the reason why women do sometimes that are successful or having problems with their men, but it's not always related to the fact that the man feels insufficient. So I talked about I would do a little broadcast about that. So this is what I will entitle this is women who have it all together who keep dating the wrong type of men. And this is what I want to say. A lot of times you find women that are pretty successful, have themselves together. They may be established socially, monetarily, and economically. They may have things going on. But what they find out is they continue to end up dating guys that seem to be what they would call a jerk or a bum or a loser or, a difficult person to deal with and just not up to their standards. But if you look at it, a lot of times this happens a lot of times with some sisters and in the Lord, along with just the regular people that they tend to get hooked up with this type of guy. And there's a reason why. And before I can say that, I want to say, growing up in a single family home with my mother and a sister, I realized one thing. My mother was pretty successful. She had 2 or 3 master's degrees. My sister graduated from college with a degree in psychology. I began to be able to notice some things about relationships, with women and men. And so, I want to help. I realize the struggles they have, and it helps me to do this. This is one of the main reasons why I take the time to do it. I had a pretty large external family as far as cousins and things like that too, that also were a lot of females in our family along with me and some guy cousins. And we felt, we were protectors. So it's just kind of natural nature for me to share this information. So what I want to say is that when a woman, a lot of times, she has it all together. And I mean really is. She's got the bag of chips and she's all that and she's hitting on it. Why is it that she a lot of times ends up with this type of guy that comes in and seems like he's got it all together, and she ends up saying, oh man, this guy is not working out, things are not working in my relationship, and how do I do it? The next time you see her, she's in the same relationship, same situation. Well, the reason why I want to say this is women, and hear me real good, a lot of times women that have it all together, they've taken the time to take care of themselves, their physical self, their mental self, their spiritual self, and their money. Sometimes that tends to inflate what the woman believes a standard that the man has to meet in order to get to her position. So what happens inside, she has this world that she's built, that this guy has to come up and meet these particular standards before he would be able to, date me or come to my arena, to my circle. So she begins to say, hey, listen, I have these standards this man has to meet. And what happens is when it's overinflated, the only type of guys that want to deal with them are these guys that don't have anything to lose. These are guys, my sisters, that don't mind. You remember there was one of these sitcoms that came on, one of these things where the guy would I think it was like Star Trek, they had these things called changelings. They could change into whatever they wanted to fit into the atmosphere. They can turn into whatever they want to. Well, these guys are changelings. They look at you as a specific venture to capture. You're a goal. They don't mind changing. They don't mind talking. They don't mind entering into your world to make you believe what you believe about yourself is true, that they are the guy in the shining light armor, they have it all together, you are this super special person, because they have absolutely nothing to lose. They have the guts, they have the motivation, because you're a prize. So they enter into your world, and what makes you susceptible is the fact that you're a little overinflated in what you expect from a man and what you want. Not saying you should take anything less, but it's your approach to how he enters your life. This air about you makes the man either he wants to deal with you or not. So these guys, they don't mind. They don't mind. Sometimes they look good. Sometimes they have a little bit of money, and they can talk a very good game. Most of them talk very, very good. So that's why they're able to catch your attention, and they get involved and they start talking hey, and they act that they're really impressed at the status of what you've accomplished in life. So and that lowers your radar. You become less defensive, and eventually he wins you, and he's in there. And then later on, you find out the guy is just a smooth talker. Now, the guy that's really serious, that would really do you some good in life when he notices that you have it all together, the problem is a lot of times when you do, it does something to your aroma, your spirit, that makes it hard for a real serious man to deal with. And he can tell this afar off, sisters. This is the thing about it. He can watch this and see this in you very, very far off. He doesn't have to approach you. He can be around you. He can watch your mannerism. It's the instinct that he gives. So a highly accomplished guy, the one that you really want to enter into your world, this guy says, you know what? I've got to jump through too many hoops in order to get to her, to prove to her what I'm really all about. So this guy bypasses you. And this leaves room for the charlatan who don't mind. This cat don't mind making you think, he's all you need him to be. He will tell a lie. He'll borrow the right car. He'll take you to the right dinner places. It doesn't matter to him. But a guy that's really got himself together, he's know where he's going. He's got his money together. He's got his direction together. This particular guy says, listen, I don't have time. I need somebody that can come along with me and help get to a goal in life. We can work together and accomplish something. But if she's too strong-headed, too hard to deal with, says she doesn't even trust me, don't want me to get in, this guy is serious. He needs somebody that can check him out quickly and say, hey, this guy's got it on the ball. Let me give my resources to him to help him, and his resources can help me, and we can do a grand together. But unfortunately, the real serious fellow that about life normally does not have the time or the inclination to want to deal with this high-profile women. And it doesn't mean that you have to be low. It's just that if you are high-profile and you do have yourself together and you do have everything and you are the bag of chips, then be humble about it. Be sweet about it. Learn how to say to yourself, listen, I may have it together, but I don't have to have a man to jump through hoops to prove who I am. I can cordially entertain any gentleman that's willing to give me time. It doesn't mean I got to give myself to any guy, but I certainly don't have the problem with entertaining a janitor as well as a lawyer or a doctor. It doesn't matter, or an Indian chief. It doesn't matter to me. And if you have that type of real belief and spirit within inside of you, the real men that you really would like, that would really value you, would see that, and they would enter into your life. And a lot of time that union is when they you get a good power couple. They are both successful. They both have their head going in the right direction, and they want to do the right things for each other. So this is a moment with Brother Al. Just wanted to share that with you. Share that with any of these women that have problems. You say, girl, you got it all, and you got this going, you got that going. Why are you always ending up with this kind of guy? Share this with her. It may help her to realize that she doesn't have to be a stickler about everything. Listen, don't ever lower your standards as who you are, but keep a humble spirit. That'll attract a real man. It won't attract one of these guys that got to jump through hoops. Because if he thinks he's got to jump through hoops and jump up here and jump over here to get you, the charlatan will do it. Baby, I'm telling you, he don't mind. And it leaves you in a world of disarray and disbelief once she gets inside your world and you find out that this cat ain't nothing about what he said he was. But he had to do it to get to you. But see, if you humble, then you can really get a chance to check the guy out before he gets into your heart. If you really just take your time and just entertain any gentleman that you think, has a chance or you're attracted to, give him that chance. And then once you really find out, then you can cordially and gently just back out of the relationship without it getting to you. But once you have these standards high, and this guy jumps into your world and, your fairy tale world, it's going to take your heart, baby. Don't think it's not. It is going to take you. And he's in there then. So you don't want him to get in there like that. You want to be able to, evaluate the situation before it happens. And then you want to be able to evaluate him before it happens. And that way you're protecting your heart, your relationship. So again, this is Brother Al with a moment, and just want to let all of you all know that God does love you, and he keep looking forward. There's an answer to your problem.